Hi everyone, and welcome to Global Business Evolution, where we talk about the trends, happenings, and practices in business today. I am Tani, the CEO of Human Capital Matters, an international management consulting, strategy, and human resources firm. We deal with everything from strategy development, leadership matters, online learning, and recruitment, to name a few things. To find out more about what we do, click on the link below. I will be sharing some tools, tips, and insights that will help you in the world of business. So, like and subscribe to my channel for all the latest happenings in the business world. Today, we'll be talking about the 3 things that you need to take into consideration when deciding on which management style to use are: does it align with you? Does it reflect your skills, personality, and experience? Does it work for your team? Does it speak to their levels of experience and personalities? Once again, remember, it is not a one-size-fits-all approach. A truly effective manager takes different management approaches when dealing with different team members. And finally, your organization. What is the culture of your organization, and what is the business landscape that your organization is operating under? If your company is very structured and hierarchical, for instance, or going through a major change, you might need to be more authoritarian or autocratic in your approach. If, however, your organizational culture is one that thrives on creativity and innovation, you might need one that has a more laissez-faire style. Perhaps that will work better. There are many different management styles, but they all essentially fall into 3 major categories: autocratic, democratic, and laissez-faire, with autocratic being the most controlling and laissez-faire sitting at the other end of the spectrum. The autocratic management style is a top-down style. An autocratic manager makes nearly all the decisions themselves and tells the employees what they need to do. There are clear and specific policies in place that everyone is expected to follow. Feedback from employees is not typically encouraged. Roles and tasks are clearly defined and employees are constantly supervised. Autocratic managers are the ultimate micromanagers. An autocratic style is useful in a crisis situation where it is imperative to make decisions very quickly, or where you're predominantly dealing with unskilled or semi-skilled employees. Productivity does increase with an autocratic management style, but generally only when the manager is present. There's very little innovation and creativity, and it can result in increasing dissatisfaction amongst employees, disengagement, and resentment. These workplaces tend to be characterized by high turnover and an us versus them mentality. You might find this type of management style in, say, a call center environment, where the manager is constantly walking the floor and everybody knows what script they are to follow. A situation that does not follow the script can only typically be handled by the manager or someone further up the hierarchy. The democratic management style is one where managers encourage employees to give input during the decision-making process. It is characterized by open communication, and employees and managers work together to achieve goals. This process allows for diverse opinions and skills and ideas to inform decisions. However, it is not always efficient, as decision-making can involve debating and consulting multiple parties, which, as you know, can take some time. Democratic managers ultimately do approve of all the decisions, but since their employees are so involved in the decision-making process, they have a lot of influence as to which decisions are made. The democratic management style should be used in environments where you want your team to buy into your vision and to take accountability and ownership. It cannot really be used with unskilled or semi-skilled employees and would be highly efficient in teams characterized by large numbers. Laissez-faire managers tend to be completely hands-off. They expect their team to perform even though they don't proactively help or check in with their employees. Employees are given the freedom to decide the process and the steps towards outcomes and solutions. Management gets involved only if their assistance is requested. At the extreme end of the laissez-faire spectrum, management is only present at the delegation and delivery stage of the work, and for the most part, employees make the decisions with minimal intervention from the manager. The laissez-faire style can be effective because it gives self-motivated employees the autonomy and space they need to be productive. This could be particularly useful in a creative environment. However, because this management style is hands-off, it can leave some employees feeling neglected or in need of guidance and direction. Within these three categories, there are specific subtypes of management styles, each with its own pros and cons. The reality is that you will choose one that you are comfortable with and which works for the environment that you're operating in. You will choose based on which one or blend supports your needs and goals at any particular time, and you will take into consideration the individual personalities that form part of your team. Consider the following factors when deciding on which management style to use: the volume of work to complete and how quickly that work needs to be done, the industry and company culture, your personality and management qualities, the team and company's goals, and finally, the attitudes and personalities of the people that you are managing. Go through the next exercise. Your choice of response to the scenarios presented could give you an indication as to what your preferred management style is. Scenario 1. An urgent and critical situation has arisen, the consequences of which could result in a loss of productivity and reputational damage. You and your team need to act, and you need to act now. What do you do? Do you handle it yourself? Plan a strategy yourself and tell your team what needs to be done with strict instructions for them to follow up with you the moment they are done with their tasks? Do you gather your team together for a planning session? Do you listen to everyone's opinion, work with your team to plan the best way to handle the crisis, and then as a team action out that plan? Or do you leave your team to handle this themselves? They are professionals after all, and they know what needs to be done. They can reach out to you if they need you, and you can check in with them afterwards to review how it was handled and give them feedback. Scenario 2. There is an important project that you need to plan. How do you go about doing it? Do you gather up your team, give them all the information that they need, and then let them get on with it? Do you inform your team of the new project and assign all roles, milestones, objectives, and timelines? Let each person know what they need to do and continually check in with them to make sure that they're successful. Or do you meet with key employees, work with them to outline various plans for the project, and then present those plans to the team? The plan that gets the most votes is the one that you will follow. Scenario 3. Your team is going to miss an important deadline. How do you handle this situation? Do you work alongside your team to try and meet the deadline and implement a solution to avoid something similar from happening in the future? Do you leave it to them? They are skilled, imaginative people and they'll figure it out. Or do you make sure that the team has the resources they need to meet the deadlines? Afterwards, you will review the process, find problem areas and improve the process as needed. Scenario 4, the final scenario. What kind of environment would you like to create for your team? Would you like to create one of structure and support where their tasks and goals have been explained thoroughly and they know exactly what they need to do in order to be successful? Would you like to create one of innovation and creativity where they are trusted to perform and they enjoy rising to the occasion? Would you like to create one where they feel heard and valued? They are, after all, an important member of your team, and their skills contribute to the success of the organization.
I hope you enjoyed that. I tried to distill my many years of experience into bite-sized chunks. Needless to say, the learning never ends, and therefore there is so much more to this topic. I hope that you will join me to explore these topics further. Leave a comment and let me know what else you'd like to learn about. And don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe to my channel.